So Slay the Spire is known as being one of the best deck building games of all time. But what if you wanted something else? Something a little different? Well, luckily there's so much more to the genre, from facing animal spirits to these epic space battles, from catching cursed Pokemon to basically Borderlands with cards. This list has it all, for the beginners to the genre all the way to the deck building veterans. Hey everyone, it's Marco here, and today I'll be giving you 18 great games like Slay the Spire for you to check out. Well, at least until the sequel arrives. And so first up is Howl, a game I've been playing for some time now and I'm very excited to share it with you. I was fortunate enough to be sent an early key from the publishers 11-Bit Studios. Plus they sponsored this video, but I gotta say, this game is so intense. See, it's not your common deck building roguelike. This is a tactical RPG that comes with the same tight design as Slay the Spire, but it's wrapped up in this brilliant art style. You're this woman trying to get her son back from the afterlife in this Nordic-inspired world that's a bit eerie, and now you need to take down these twisted spirits along the way. You'll be using a wide variety of cards that start off from basic rock tossing, but soon you'll be throwing fireballs from the sky. But my gosh, is this game hard. Like, they're going for that Souls-like vibe, and yes, please don't roll your eyes at me because I said that, but I kinda get where they're going. So you'll face a group of enemies, die in a few hits, repeat, trying not to do the same mistakes. And instead of bonfires, you have these stones that restore your health, but then the enemies come back too, so yeah, be aware of that. Oh, and the bosses are pretty epic too. It also reminded me of Into the Breach, where there's just so much tactical gameplay going on, but it's so rewarding once you get it right. And don't worry if you struggle, as you'll be crafting new cards from the foliage you find on the floor. I gotta say though, this game looks amazing. From the different biomes to the various creepy enemies, a lot of the time I was like, nope, not going there. But you can tell so much effort has been placed into this pixelated art style. I'm enjoying it a lot right now, plus there's a demo out too. So if you're looking for a deck building RPG that feels like your shaman added a bit too much ayahuasca to your morning coffee, then Howl might just be for you. And if you're looking for a sci-fi setting instead, where combat now involves the gift of the gab, well then Griftlands might be right down your alley. It comes from the studio Cly Entertainment, you know, Don't Starve, Oxygen Not Included, those guys. Well, did you know that they also have this deck builder that comes with some strategic combat, as well as an addictive roguelike loop to keep you engaged? All of this comes together in a game that makes it feel unique as well as captivating at the same time. So yes, if you've played other popular roguelike deck builders, you'll know what to expect. However, in Griftlands, the campaign is pretty cool. Plus, it comes with 3 different characters, from a mercenary set out for revenge to a retired soldier who is now this double agent. They all feel quite unique, and you just want to keep playing to see what happens in that story. With random encounters and changes to the missions, no 2 runs will feel quite the same. And like I mentioned in the beginning, not only do you have that turn-based combat, but there are also these negotiations that can affect your story development, both of which have a specific set of cards that you'll need to upgrade along the way. But yeah, that combat goes hard. Slay the Spire veterans will love the variety it comes with, like you can always just do so much. The visual style is also pretty cool. It gives me that cartoon feel to it. Like, fans of Cly's games will be like, oh yeah, give me that Saturday morning cartoon vibe, yeah. So if you're looking for a roguelike deck builder that adds in a terrific mix of RPG mechanics and visual novel style storytelling in the sci-fi theme, where you'll be doing a lot of grifting with these other grifters on these lands, well then Griftlands might just be for you. And if you're looking for another grid-based tactical feast, then StarVaders might just be worth playing. Sitting at an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, this deck building roguelike is like Slay the Spire meets Space Invaders, hence the name. In StarVaders, you'll need to pilot a badass mech against an alien invasion. With every turn, they move 1 square down, getting closer to the Doom Zone. If they chill in the Doom Zone for too long, your Doom meter will fill up, and if it's too high, it's game over. You also notice these heat indicators on the cards, as well as this heat level. So yeah, you gotta be careful on how much cards you add, because you don't want your heat to go up too much, otherwise it'll just get too hot in the kitchen. It looks simple, but this is a hidden gem of 2025. It comes with 3 mechs to choose from and 10 playable characters, so it's a lot like Into the Breach, as you'll also be getting tons of replayability, not only with the combat, but the characters themselves. Then you add in the amount of abilities, enemies, and these epic bosses, and you've got this game that goes incredibly deep and it's just also very replayable as well. I feel like this game may have gone under the radar this year as people may have gotten some slight fatigue from the genre, but if you're looking for something fresh and very addictive, StarVaders might just be for you. And if you've played many deck builders and want more of a challenge, well then Beneath Oresa is one to check out. And I do mean check out because check out how good this game looks. It's like Slay the Spire but looks a bit like a Borderlands fighting game with those cel shaded graphics and those awesome animations. It's out of early access by the way, where this deck builder comes with this over the shoulder camera view, giving it more of an action feel to it while still feeling familiar to the genre. In the game, you'll choose not only your hero, but a companion to join you. This companion acts like a second hero almost to help you along your journey, a Sam to your Frodo in a way. As they have their own cool powers too, you can create tons of dual combo styles to fit your playstyle. And I have to say, it's definitely one of the best looking deck building games, and if you love a good challenge, one with the difficulty spike of a lance up your backside, well then maybe go check out Beneath Oresa today, especially if it's on sale. Now if you're looking for another top tier roguelike deck builder with again such incredible art style, well maybe go check out Wildfrost. In the game, the sun has frozen over and the world is lost to the Wildfrost over here. So you gotta choose a tribe leader, each coming with different skills and stats, and then set off to take down your evil foes. In this 2-row battlefield, you start by placing down your leader and then off you go. When placing down a card, it reduces the timers for the rest of them. And when that timer hits 0, well, all the abilities are then triggered. This will either do a lot of damage or status effects depending on the cards themselves, and if your leader dies, well then your run is over. This turn timer really keeps you on your toes and in turn creates this impressive synergy with your leader and your companions, trying to optimize the best build to keep trucking forward. Outside of combat, you'll be treated to the standard point-to-point traveling, but the cards are pretty cool though. You can upgrade them with charms, which you usually get randomly, which will sometimes help weak companions turn into something of legend. Overall though, the deck building mechanics are top tier compared to others in the genre. So if that sounds like your kind of jam, well definitely go check out Wildfrost today. Then coming up next is a game where creepy creatures come out to play, it's Decktamer. This newish game is like Slay the Spire meets some cursed Pokemon. Like some animals are pretty cute and adorable, but then you have Mr. Freakazoid of a rat over here that's like, nightmares, that's probably going to be in my dreams tonight. Can't wait. In Decktamer, your cards are your creatures, and well, you need to fight other creatures. And to get more cards or creatures, well you gotta tame those twisted and bizarre creepypasta like critters. Honestly though, devs, take note of this art style. It's so originally fresh, even though it's a little bit creepy, but please give us more like it. Now the taming is such an interesting part of the game, but so too are the creatures themselves. I mean, they act like real animals. Like if they die, well then that card is gone, you can't use it anymore. And then if you have food, you think, well, do I feed my own? Do I use it to give it to another creature to try and tame it? It's very interesting. Your creatures or your beasts can then also evolve. You can mutate them, you can fuse them up to buff them and give them more powers than ever before. There's just so many different ways to play. It's all just very cool. And overall, the game itself is very challenging. It's a lot of fun. And if you're a deck building veteran out there, well then definitely go check out Decktamer today. And now maybe you want more randomness in your gameplay, well then SpellRogue is going to be perfect for you, but just watch out, it can be very addictive. See, it looks like your traditional card-based roguelike, right? Well now, dice rolling mechanics join in on the action. In the game, you play as one of these 4 dice slingers that specialize in various forms of elemental powers. You know, Earth, Wind, Fire. Do you remember the 21st night of September? So you start with the water one and then you unlock more characters as you play. These characters play very differently and there is a lot of variation in the battles themselves. You'll get lots of different types of encounters in the 3 acts of the game, and the bosses also change up quite a bit. And yes, you can say the replayability is an understatement in SpellRogue. After every combat encounter, you get to choose one of 3 skills, and you get to choose the one that suits you best. Plus you can mix and match your skills as you progress, so you're not just limited to a single set build throughout your run. These skills themselves though are just so cool, and the synergies that come with them are so tightly wound together that it might just be one of the best synergy mechanics in the games in this list. And yes, the dice that can also have their own special powers and mechanics linked to them. When you roll them, you can then allocate them to your different cards, and you can even sometimes combine them, making your powers even more intense. It really changes the genre up if you're used to the standard deck building formula. And yes, it is going to wreck you every now and again, but you can adjust the difficulty if you want to take an easier route. Overall, do not underestimate this game. If you love spells and magic in your games, you want a game that's got a lot of challenge and dynamic builds, and you want one with a lot of replayability, well then don't miss out on SpellRogue. Maybe go check it out today. Now if you love dice so much that you'd rather play with them instead of the cards themselves, well then Die in the Dungeon might just be for you. The game does feel very similar to other games on the list. You pick a character, you'll battle enemies, you'll go to different places in this dungeon, you'll go to shops, you'll encounter events, and you'll eventually face a boss in each of the 3 areas, and so it goes. But as the pun in the title suggests, you're in charge of dice this time around, or die. These aren't your standard run-of-the-mill ones that you have lying around in your drawer filled with random pennies and pens though. These ones are very cool, and there are a ton of them, and there's just so many different ways that you can synergize them with others, and instead of just flinging these die at your enemies, because I don't know, that would be weird, you can place them down on this board, allowing the die to interact with each other, and once you're done moving them around trying to get the best synergies, you'll hit finish and then unleash mathematical terror on your foes. It's amazing. And sure, the game uses many of these same mechanics as Slay the Spire and other games on this list, but it also introduces so many that'll help stand it out from the rest. And I gotta say, I love those thick, chunky pixel graphics. They're very cool. Unfortunately, it is still in early access, but judging from the overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, I wouldn't let that EA tag fool you. So if you are looking for a unique roguelike deck builder, one that's more chilled out and leans more into math than anything else, well then Die in the Dungeon might just be the game for you. And now if you've wanted to manage a ship and fight in some epic duels in space instead of drawing cards, well then maybe go check out Lonestar. There is a lot going on in this tactical roguelike, I must say, mainly because it plays more like a dice builder than a deck builder, but you know, it's still very cool. In the game you play as a bounty hunter, so you'll get to control your spaceship over here that is basically your deck. It's weird. So now, instead of drawing your attack cards, your abilities are these fixed units on your ship. So yeah, the cards that you draw are now these energy resources that you'll get to allocate to units to help charge them up. Think if FTL was ever a deck builder, this would be that game. That means that you have to decide which weapons to power up and by how much. Plus there are these specific colored types that give you the best results to help take down your enemy. In the end, it's all about achieving energy harmony on your ship, making it feel a bit like a deck builder in reverse, as the abilities you get are constant, but the energy you run with them is all randomized. So if you want a deck builder that plays a bit differently to the rest, one that has this cool space theme to it, and if you really enjoyed FTL Faster Than Light, I know I did, and you want something similar to that as well, well then Lonestar might just be for you. Next up is a game that's like Slay the Spire meets Dungeons and Dragons, and it's called Across the Obelisk. This is one of those rare deck building roguelikes that comes with co-op. But yes, you can still play it perfectly solo if you want. In Across the Obelisk, instead of controlling a single hero, this time around you'll manage a party of adventurers that resemble the typical D&D classes. You know, the warrior, the ranger, the wizard, and the cleric. Now guess what? 4 characters means 4 decks of cards to manage. So yeah, it's for players who love to balance a bunch of plates all at the same time. But also, this game goes very deep the more you play. It comes with these quests, much like the other games, that you can unlock new heroes, but you also get pets, a lot more cards, and so on. However, this is a game for players who love to optimize. The combat though is amazing, but yes, you have 4 decks to manage, so now you have to carefully think about what you're going to do each turn. Sometimes takes a little bit longer than usual. Plus it's so cool going into each of these different zones and seeing new enemies that you just haven't seen before, makes it feel a bit fresh. Replayability is also very high here, with you trying to unlock new heroes with everything else, while it also comes with higher difficulties called madness levels, so you can just make it harder for yourself but you'll also get more rewards at the end. And yes, I know it is published by Paradox, so of course it's got DLC all over the place. But hey, guess what? You can still get hundreds of hours without that DLC. In the end, if you're looking for a solo deck building D&D experience, or maybe you have a partner or friend that you've always wanted to play a deck builder with, Across the Obelisk is one not to be missed and definitely worth checking out. Alright, now if you've always wanted to feel like John Wick in your deck building games, then Fights in Tight Spaces is a must play and a very cool title to say out loud. It plays a bit like chess, or maybe that game Into the Breach that I always go on about, where you have to move and position yourself very carefully, maybe do an attack, and then it's the enemy's turn. Usually you'll want to position yourself so that sometimes the henchmen you're facing will attack each other. And let's be honest, that is the most satisfying feeling ever. Then once you're done beating everyone down to a pulp, you'll be able to watch a cinematic replay of how it all went down. Since its release, there are also these two DLCs, one with guns and one with a doggo. They're okay. I think it depends on what you're looking for, but the base game is just so solid on its own, I don't think it ever needed a DLC. So if you're looking for some tactical deck building combat that feels as stylish as it looks, then you can't go wrong with Fights in Tight Spaces. It's honestly one of the all-time greats. Next up, what if you wanted a deck builder combined with a crazy good JRPG? Well then look no further than Chrono Ark. This is another hidden gem that often goes under the radar, where this time around you'll play as Lucy, the child of prophecy, caught in a time loop within a massive virtual ark. In the game you'll be managing a 4-person party called these Investigators. There is a bunch of them to choose from though, so they each come with their own style, their own decks, their own mechanics, so there's a lot of fun just finding the one that suits you best. The combat though is incredibly deep. Maybe not Slay the Spire deep, but there are still plenty of other mechanics to keep track of during a battle, making it very tactical all the time. The boss fights feel unique, that soundtrack is incredible, and the cutscenes make the challenging fights always just feel a little bit extra cool. So if you are a veteran deck builder looking for a serious hidden gem, one with a strong story, and you enjoy the complexity of building out a great deck and you love all these different characters, well then maybe go check out Chrono Ark today. Now for a game that adds a lot of fresh and interesting ideas to the deck building genre that is perfect for veterans out there, up next is Vault of the Void. Another title that often goes under the radar. This game, coming from a solo developer, aims to reduce the randomness you often find in the genre to allow you to focus on other cool mechanics. Like cool, there's the usual attack cards, the ones with abilities. You have relics that give you certain benefits along your run. However, it comes with a lot of small tweaks to help it stand out. For example, you'll always have a deck of 20 cards. And when you get new cards, they'll be placed into your side deck or your reserve pile. So yeah, you'll always be playing with 20 cards, but you can change them up for each battle. Plus the energy system works a little differently too, like you can manually discard cards to gain more energy, leading to some very interesting strategies while you play. There's no real story, but the game does come with 4 characters to choose from, tons of various cards, as well as quite a bit of replayability to keep you playing for hours. It does come with a slight learning curve in the beginning, like it throws a lot of mechanics at you early on, so just be prepared for that. However, if you're a deck building dominator and looking for a deep and complex game, then Vault of the Void is going to be for you. Then next up is a game that's more charming than anything else. It's Cobalt Core. Like with Lonestar, this is an FTLs and Slay the Spire mashup where you're in charge of these little dragon and animal bros in space. It's also currently sitting with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, however, it's not for everyone. In this sci-fi roguelike, you're thrown into these intense turn-based ship duels, all while trying to escape a time loop. Now, yes, the game is great. It's got the story that you're trying to solve about the mystery, about what's happening with you, and the combat is great too, like there's tons of varieties with the items that you get, as well as how to set up your ship. Positioning and movement also play a big role in the game. However, hardcore veterans of deck building roguelikes might find it a bit too easy. Once you know how all the mechanics work, you can probably 100% the game in around 14 hours or so. So yeah, it's not as deep as say Slay the Spire, but in saying that, this is a different kind of game. you might be returning to it over and over again because of that charm. It's a bit quirky, it's got some funny moments, and it just doesn't take itself so seriously like other games listed here. Also, it's got such a great soundtrack, so big brownie points for that. But in the end, if you're looking for more of a cozy, chilled out deck builder, and overall just a very fun game to play, then definitely go check out Cobalt Core today. Alright, now I know I'm gonna get reported in the comments for this one, but I just have to include Shogun Showdown. But Marco, it's not a deck builder. Why is it on this list? Well, because it's my list, and I'm showcasing games like Slay the Spire, not our Slay the Spire. And honestly, this game is so good, I had to include it. And sure, it's not technically a deck builder, but it still shares a lot of similarities to Slay the Spire. Like, both have two words that both start with the letter S. Like, what more do you want? Okay, well, I mean, you've got multiple characters to play with. It's a roguelike, so you got these tiles that are unlocked that you use and you unlock the more you play. It's got this ascension system that adds modifiers to make the game harder. It's got shops that add relic-like upgrades, and overall it just scratches that Slay the Spire itch better than most games here. It's all about that samurai combat that's got these tactical puzzles that are so super satisfying once you understand how it all plays out. And if you mess up, it's okay, as you can just restart your run, as they don't last very long either. Plus, those characters come with their own interesting abilities, helping the game feel unique and keeping it engaging. The game itself is easy to learn, but very difficult to master, so don't worry, it's still very challenging despite its somewhat cute pixelated graphics. Overall, this is a game that has to be on this list because even though you aren't managing a deck of cards that are at your disposal, it still gives off such a Slay the Spire vibe that Shogun Showdown is highly recommended for you to check out. I mean, there is a good reason why it's still sitting at an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam at the moment. Okay, so the next few are kind of no-brainers, but I just had to include them on this list. So next up, if you haven't played Inscryption yet, well then what are you waiting for? I featured this game a while back in one of my videos covering the most unique games I've ever played because it's kind of hard to define this game. Sure, it starts out as a bit of a dark, not spooky roguelike deck builder, but it changes things up later in the game, which obviously I don't want to spoil it for you. When it comes to that deck building gameplay, I love it. It's so simple, it's so elegant, and every time you make it a little further into the game, you realize you're playing a game like no other. You'll be trying to beat this person across from you, tilting the scale until it goes all the way to their side, playing cards against cards, but not always. The cards feel alive, and it's just the way that you interact with everything around you. I mean, like, you can pull out your teeth to tilt the scale to your favor. It's just so damn weird. Then just the way the cards interact with you. Sometimes they'll just straight up tell you that you've made the wrong choice and now you're second guessing everything. It's so good. So if you are looking for a deck builder that plays very differently to the rest, one a little spooky and out there, one that is more of an experience than a game that you're trying to get a high score in, well then you can't go wrong with Inscryption. It's simply amazing. Again, this is a game that would be weird to leave out of this list, but I had to include Balatro because I love this game. Now I know a lot of people it doesn't click with them, I get it, I understand it, it's not for everyone. I mean, it's a poker roguelike. It's a weird one just to begin with. And honestly, after the first few hours of playing it, I didn't really see the appeal either. Like, I tried to get some high scores, like really high scores, and I just failed all the time. But then I didn't. And you don't have to be a poker pro to understand it. I understood some of the rules back in the day. I mean, I lost every game that I ever played, so yeah, my poker face is useless. So I know the rules, I know the hands. But in this game, it slowly becomes less about the poker itself and more about doing quick math in your head while trying to figure out what all of these damn jokers mean. And it's these jokers that make the game so great. Each run you'll be buying or unlocking different ones to mix and match to pull off some insane combos. And for me, it's the sounds that hook you in more than anything. Maybe it's just me, but eventually you'll be craving that sound of that fire on the side and the ding 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 when your combo goes through the roof and you know that stuff is about to go down. In the beginning it can seem very challenging. The blinds go up, so you have to get higher scores each time, and the boss battles that are basically just weird modifiers that make the end of the level quite challenging can be very daunting when you first start out. And yes, honestly, I had to uninstall this game because I just played it far too long during my lunch break. So yeah, if you're looking for a roguelike deck builder that once you get into it, you might just take away all your free time, then Balatro is definitely for you. Or maybe not. And then last but certainly not least, you can't play Slay the Spire without trying out Monster Train. This is a vertical lane roguelike deck builder. And yes, both 1 and 2 are great, but you can just play 2 without worrying about the original, don't worry. As you might have guessed, it takes place on a train and there are monsters, and now you need to survive incoming waves of enemies before they reach your pyre heart. The game is very similar to other deck builders out there, like you'll be drawing cards and using mana to play spells, equipment and monsters, but it also introduces a tower defense element. The critical difference here is that unique 3-tiered structure of the train, which serves as this epic battlefield. In the game, you'll be summoning monsters to these levels to fight waves of your enemies. If your enemies survive combat on one level though, they'll advance to the next, and it's game over if your pyre's health is then depleted. This multi-level defense system makes strategies and tactics so important, and you'll be doing crazy tactics like placing debuffers or damage over time on creatures, and it makes it so intricate and complex and so much fun at the same time. You'll be able to choose a champion's path and then start building utterly broken synergies. The factions or the clans in the game are so cool. There's like 10 of them to choose from. They each have their own unique themes and cards to choose from. And although there's not much of a story going on, so what? The game is so refined, it's so polished, it could just be the best replacement for Slay the Spire, maybe until the sequel arrives. So if you're looking for something with incredible depth, amazing replayability, you can't go wrong with Monster Train 1 or 2. Both are masterpieces in the genre, not worth missing out on. But that wraps up my video. Thank you very much for watching. What games did I leave out? Let me know in the comment section below, as well as your favorites, so that other people can find great games to play. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like or maybe subscribe to find more games to get lost in. And a big thanks to my channel members. You guys make it so worth it. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games. And as always, don't stop gaming.